July 1886 in Pudukkottai, Tamil Nadu. Her father, Narayanaswamy Iyer, was the principal of Maharaja's College there. Her mother was Chandrammal, a Devadasi. Narayanaswamy Iyer broke tradition and went against the wishes of his family when he married Chandrammal. So he was disowned by his family. As Muthulakshmi grew, she was more and more inclined towards studies and she quite impressed her teachers. But when she attained puberty, as per the tradition those days, girls were not sent to school after that. And so she was educated at home and her father helped her. So she passed the matriculation examination as a private student. Then she wanted to join the Maharaja's College and she had to fight against all odds. But thanks to the support and scholarship offered by the King of Pudukkottai, she managed that. And now in 1907, she wanted to become a doctor. So she fought her way into the Madras Medical College and she was the only woman candidate among several men. In the year 1912, she graduated with a medical degree and it was a sight to watch the principal of Madras Medical College running in the corridor with the report card of the result of Muthulakshmi, and he was excitedly announcing to everybody that the only girl who had studied there had secured 100% marks in surgery. Remarkable, isn't it? She became the first woman house surgeon in the government hospital for women and children in Chennai. While in college, she met Sarojini Naidu, who was a political activist and a poet, and also attended several women's meetings. She was also influenced by Mahatma Gandhi and Annie Besant. Annie Besant was a women's rights activist and a philanthropist as well as a theosophist. All these people encouraged Muthulakshmi to work for the emancipation of women and children. In the year 1914, Dr. Muthulakshmi married Dr. Sundara Reddy after he promised to always respect her as an equal and never to cross her wishes. Later, they had 2 sons. She was the founder president of the Indian Women's Association and passionately involved in all its activities since 1917. She also had a private medical practice which was roaring for several years. And in the year 1926, she attended the Paris International Congress of Women as a delegate. Soon after her return, she entered into the Madras Legislative Council and became the first woman in the world to be the vice president of any legislature. She passed a resolution that a separate hospital should be opened for women and children, and at her request, a children's section was added to the Kasturba Maternity Hospital. She also fought for the voting rights for women. She argued that the Devadasi system should be abolished, and as per this, a section of women were tied to the temples and were forced to lead miserable lives under the mercy of some rich men in the society. One day, two young girls who had escaped from the Devadasi system knocked on the door of Muthulakshmi Reddy and sought asylum. Hostels would not give them accommodation and schools would not admit them. Then in the year 1930, Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy established the Avvai home, by which young girls and women were given free accommodation, education and vocational training so that they could become financially independent. There was so much opposition, but still she managed to get the bill of anti-polygamy passed and also the bill for suppression of immoral trafficking of women and children and the abolition of brothels. It was due to her efforts that a hostel for Muslim girls was opened and scholarships were given to Harijan girls. She also recommended to the government that the minimum age for marriage be increased to 16 for girls and 21 for boys. She was the chairperson of All Asian Congress for Women until 1935. And in the year 1937, she became the first alderwoman of Madras Corporation. She set up toilets especially for women and initiated measures to improve medical facilities for slum dwellers. As the only woman member of the Hatog Education Committee, she travelled extensively throughout the country to study the progress of women's education and suggested significant improvements. When Muthulakshmi lost her younger sister to cancer, she was heartbroken. And then she decided to fly to London with her sons to do advanced studies, and upon her return she initiated the Cancer Relief Fund. This led to the establishment of Adayar Cancer Institute. This is an exclusive hospital for cancer patients. In the year 1954, she became the first chairperson of the State Social Welfare Advisory Board. She was also the honorary secretary and advisor to the Children's Aid Society. She worked for the Tamil music movement, the Tamil language development, and for the increase in the salaries of Tamil teachers and Tamil writers. She was also the editor for a magazine called Stri Dharmam, run by the Indian Women's Association. She wrote a book called My Experience as a Legislator, and in this she has recounted all the measures that she initiated to bring about social reforms in the country. The Government of India honoured her in the year 1956 with Padma Bhushan. After working tirelessly till the age of 81, on 22nd July 1968, Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy breathed her last. An award is given to women who have contributed for cancer prevention in the honor of Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy. Google commemorated the 133rd birthday of Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy by doing a doodle in the year 2019. In 1954, when Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy established the Adyar Cancer Research Institute. A young woman by the name of Shanta had just graduated and obtained the degree of MD, and she had been offered a post at the maternity hospital, but she chose to join Adyar Cancer Research Institute, and she devoted her whole life for the care of cancer patients, the study of the disease, the research into its prevention and cure, the way to bring about awareness of the disease, and to establish scientists and specialists in the field of oncology. Dr. Shanta is a recipient of Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan and Raman Magsaysay Award. At the age of 93, after working and contributing so much for this humanity with passion and dedication, Dr. V.Shanta passed away just last month, that is in January 2021. We are indeed grateful, and we have no words to commend the exemplary contributions of these extraordinary women such as Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy and Dr. V.Shanta. Thank you.